Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 212 of the Foobar Show. But first, ALF Live Events. Whether you'd like to host your next virtual event or you're ready to go live in person or given the times, Steph, in a socially responsible manner, ALF can help you do it right. They pride themselves in being masters of audio, visual, and lighting solutions. Most recently, Steph, they've become masters of virtual events and meetings, partnering with their clients to produce live events in a socially safe environment. Go to alflei.com to get their contact information. They can be contacted via phone call or email for any questions on how they can help you produce a flawless event. That's ALF Live Events at alflei.com, alflei.com. Also, want a free Foobar t-shirt? We only have so many left. Send us a screenshot of you leaving us a 5-star positive review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll send you a free Foobar Show t-shirt absolutely free of charge. It helps us tremendously with sponsors and with building up the Foobar community for future giveaways and events. So
it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
But, Joe C., what if I don't use Apple Podcast, want something other than a shirt, but still want to support the pod? I'm glad you asked, fellow Foo. We've partnered up with tpublic.com to bring you tons of new merchandise, items like totes, travel mugs, baseball tees, and regular tees, and other bunch of crazy crap.
Ooh, crazy crap.
Crazy crap, yes, with our logo on it.
Oh,
and tons of new colors and styles to our merch page. And just, get to our merch page at foobarshow.com. There's a button right there. I put it right there. And also, while you're shopping at tpublic.com, also check out my band, The Fallen Electrics merchandise. We also partnered up with TeePublic, so you can put it all in the same basket. Check it out, and bada bing, bada boom. You're good to go. So anyway, Steph, without further ado, episode 212. Here we go. From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foobar Show! Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Joe C.
With Steph.
Thank you all very much for listening into the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. Hit us up and check out our merch at foobarshow.com. That's foobarshow.com. And FOObar Show is our handle on Facebook, Venmo, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
That's
Steph Foo.
right.
Yeah. Now, we're missing a couple of guys today, and, I'd like to say it was a scheduling miscommunication. But I think the Foo pulled the wool over our eyes on this one. Now, in the last podcast, we had agreed that, we were just going to be lazy and say that our appearance on Pigzradio, by the way, we're on Pigzradio. By the time this audio releases, we would have already done it. But their podcast is out too, so Pigz Radio, and you can watch it at pigzradio.com. We were just going to say lazily that we were going to be doing the Foobar Show 2020 Christmas Special on Pigzradio. The Foo, being the Foo, I guess figured that would count as an episode.
That's what we agreed on.
Really?
Yes. It was a mutual agreement. Okay, we're going to do the Christmas special with Pigzradio and call it a day.
But that didn't mean that we weren't going to do an episode.
But that was never specified that we were going to do an episode.
I thought that was like a default thing. Yeah, I guess not.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess not. Or maybe he's mad that I got mad at him last week for him talking to the Israeli space guy. And
can't get over it.
Yeah, anyway. Well, though this is not the official Foobar Show Christmas special, that's happening on another podcast just because we're lazy. This is our official Festivus episode.
Festivus.
We have our Festivus poll, and that's about it. It's just a poll for Festivus. And by the way, which a lot of people don't know this, but it's actually gotten more legit over the years.
Yes.
Since that Seinfeld episode. At least when this started catching some speed, it was more of a tongue-to-cheek thing. We went out of our way to go actually get ourselves a Seinfeld official Festivus poll. It's not even that large. What'd you say? It's like a foot and a half?
It's a 2-foot aluminum cylinder with a wooden base.
Yeah, that's the spirit of it. It's to just go against over commercialization of the holidays.
Oh yeah, we don't even have a tree this year.
Well, it's 2020. It's a shit show, and
yeah.
I don't know. Nobody was gonna be here but us to admire it. And I got a Festivus poll. I wiped my hands clean.
Your job is done.
I am done.
Decoration up.
Nothing gets past you, man.
Thanks, Foo. See, he's with us in spirit. But yeah, so not a whole lot is happening. I am excited to go to Pigzradio tomorrow. We're gonna be doing a spicy challenge with those guys, and we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that freaking goes.
Those teeny tiny little chocolates gonna take down an entire man.
Yeah, so the Foos bringing like these chocolate bars, and we're gonna break them up, and we're all gonna take. I guess they're 1 million Scoville per square. Is that what he said?
Yeah, some ridiculous.
Some stupid.
I don't even know. Okay, science. That's how it's possible.
Right.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of breeding. We saw this documentary on Netflix. What do you remember what it was?
We Are the Champions?
We Are the Champions. It's a documentary miniseries on Netflix where on every episode it shows you a different kind of weird sport or competition that people participate in. And I think episode 2 was the spicy challenges that are spiking up throughout the world.
Yes.
And they specifically talk about this one spicy tournament because the guy who is pretty much Scoville, right?
Right.
His last name is Scoville, and he's the guy who came up with the Carolina Reaper.
It's like I think it's either the Carolina Reaper, I forgot already, or like a hotter version of it.
Well, I think he came up, he bred the peppers together so that it would eventually create and breed a Carolina Reaper. He was the guy who did it, and now he's breeding even stronger, more spicier peppers. And so he keeps one-upping himself, but he's pretty much the king of, spicy-ass peppers.
Right.
And it's an interesting freaking documentary series. There's one about cheese rolling, right?
Right down a 45-degree hill.
Yeah,
and
racing, catching a roll of cheese that's dropped down.
The goal is not to catch the cheese, though. The goal is to be the first person to cross the line. Because the cheese is rolling at 80 miles an hour. There's no way a human body is going to roll that fast.
Not without really getting fucked up.
Yeah.
And, I would imagine the cheese is more like the gun going off, at the start of a race.
Yeah.
It's like they launch it, boom, all right, start of race.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what the cheese is. You get to keep the cheese, right?
Yeah.
That'd be fucked up if you didn't get to keep the cheese.
Yeah.
What a waste of time that would be. But if they get the cheese, then it's all worthwhile. But anyway, Steph, you also are going to be doing something very interesting tomorrow. Very important considering, we're in a pandemic and such. So did you want to make this part of your health and such today?
Sure.
All right. So what's happening?
All right. So the vaccine has been approved for emergency use. So the first vaccine that was approved was the Pfizer biotech vaccine. And now, I think yesterday, Moderna got approved.
Oh, nice.
For emergency use. So there's 2 vaccines out there going to first responders, frontliners, healthcare workers, and those that live in a group setting. Those are the first priority. For the vaccine.
And you're not a first responder, right? You work in a hospital, but are you considered first responder?
I'm not a first responder. I'm not frontline, but I do work in direct patient contact with COVID patients.
Okay.
So after patients are stable, because
after the ER people get them,
I'm the physical therapy side. So after they're medically stable and ready to start getting physical.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get physical. Then they come up to...
Do you sing that to them while you're treating them?
You know what? It actually happens a lot. I don't sing it.
Oh, Jesus.
A lot of the other therapists sing it, though, but it's pretty fun.
Oh, jeez.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so yeah, some of my patients are COVID patients. And as part of being in the hospital setting, I will be one of the few thousands of people that will get it first.
How many batches did we get this first round? Do you know?
I don't know the exact number. I think California got somewhere around 30,000.
That's not anything.
No.
That's like one small town.
Yeah.
In Southern California.
Yeah. So
wow.
So that's why it's strict to like
Yeah.
those few that I just described.
Interesting. Huh.
And
So-
it's a 2-part vaccine. So why 2 parts? Because it's more effective that way. And if you think about it, this is not the only vaccine that we know of and use regularly that are multiple parts. If you've ever been vaccinated for hepatitis B, chickenpox, their human papillomavirus.
That's true. I remember getting some booster shots with those kinds of things.
Yeah, those
as a
are
kid.
those are also multiple dose vaccines.
Hepatitis has a couple booster shots depending on the one you're trying to vaccinate for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
don't
right.
think that this is just like a one-off, like, oh, why does this have to be a 2-part vaccine? It's like, okay, there's already vaccines out there that are
Right.
2 parts.
It's a Lord of the Rings, like you're expecting another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's more effective that way. So some of my coworkers have already gotten it. They started distributing it on Thursday, December 17th. I will be getting mine Sunday, December 20th.
And based on all the data coming out, a lot of the side effects or the allergies that people get from getting it are very treatable, and as long as they hang out by the medical professionals, for
There-
at least a half hour after getting it.
Yeah, there is a designated wait time
Uh-huh.
before you are released, just so they can counteract any immediate side effects,
Mm-hmm.
which might be itchy throat, which can lead to restricted airway, just in case you are allergic.
Oh. Yeah.
They'll get you like a EpiPen.
Mhm.
Think about it like that way.
Okay.
Or if you feel dizzy or have a headache, they can treat you right then and there.
Mhm. And for the most part, it's not really a big deal. It's totally treatable right away.
Yes.
the-
And then a lot of these things are like, we call them transient. So you'll have them for a brief period and then it'll go away. So it's not anything long term.
Like
so
a
far that
small-
we've seen.
Like a small fever is what some people are saying.
Yeah, and that's like a normal reaction to any vaccine.
That's true. Yeah.
Um,
I remember getting the
yeah.
flu shot last month, and I just felt a little weak and got a little headache, and then that was it.
And that's common.
That's pretty much it.
A lot of people are reporting soreness in the arm. That comes with like pretty much
That's-
any
yeah,
vaccine.
Any vaccine.
That happened to me when I got the flu shot as well. What happens to me with vaccines is I get extremely drowsy.
Oh, okay.
Usually
So you're
a
gonna-
few hours later.
You're gonna be napping at Pigzradio then.
I will be probably at the mic trying to stay awake, much like I do with this podcast.
Right. Yeah. By the way, she's a part of the show, everybody. Like this whole time.
Right?
I know, right?
You know, I had to say it's different. It's different sitting up here because every once in a while I'll glance at the camera and all I just see is this giant ring of light. And when I look away, the light just kind of follows me.
Oh
And
yeah,
just, like,
the light we have here for the camera. You got to get used to it. You do. But yeah,
So-
it's funny not having Foos. We haven't done a Josie and Steph show in a while. It's been like a year, right? Or over a year.
Probably. I think we've
Not
maybe
since the other studio.
we've probably
think.
done a couple.
Yeah.
I think we might have done one when the pandemic first started
That's
and
true.
the Foos were trying to get their technology set up.
Which still sucked, by the way.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know this, but apparently they live in places with vaulted ceilings. Because there was always like this crazy, stupid echo coming out of Josh's crazy microphone. I don't know,
Right.
but we didn't have the equipment to do it. I'm surprised we did it as long as we did. It's actually, I'm pretty
and
impressed
it worked out.
that, people still listened.
It really doesn't matter where the food lives. It's just there's always going to be an echo. It's just like he lives for that kind of thing.
The bathroom.
Right?
Yeah.
Just wherever he can get it.
It's just fresh as fuck.
Isn't it, though, Fu?
And another thing with this vaccine.
Oh,
is
right,
they
the
give
vaccine.
They give you an immunization card, and you so we all have to sign up for this app, and it kind of tells you, oh, okay, what are the symptoms that you're feeling? Please report it, so that they can continue
To study.
to study it.
Yeah.
Because now we're expanding the sample size.
To everybody. Well,
Yeah, to
everybody.
everybody.
Pretty much, yeah, everybody.
So now we're gonna go into the long-term studies. If you're worried about like, it's gonna be a placebo, it's not really gonna work. Okay, they have to notify you
Yeah.
in order for you to participate in a blind study like that.
There are rules about this kind of thing, and huge lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
If they get caught doing something like this.
Yeah.
Like, they'd be ruined. And we don't want that right now in a pandemic. Ruin a big pharmaceutical company producing a shit ton of these damn vaccines.
Right.
I'm excited that you're getting it because, you're always so on edge about going out to places or meeting with certain people that we have no idea what their activity has been throughout the week.
I've been
me just
paranoid.
going to work and back, you're weird about it. So it's nice that, the person with the most anxiety in this studio is getting it. And now 3 months from now, you'll be getting a booster shot, right?
No, it's 21 days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
so 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Not 3 months. Okay, I thought it was a little further down the line.
Yeah, and so, like, there's a time frame. So from the time I get my first shot, which is tomorrow, essentially.
Yeah.
I have 21 to 25 days. So there's a little period in between, but I'm just going to take it as soon as I can.
And they're recommending that you don't drink.
Right. Don't drink. And there are certain, I think, medications that they don't want you to take with it, but I'm not sure about that.
Which are pretty much immune, what is it?
Immunosuppressing.
Immunosuppressants.
Yeah. The specifics of that, I don't know. Mm-hmm. If you want more information, you can always ask your doctor.
It's something a lot of people don't do, which is, by the way, I can understand why they don't, because it's really hard to get a doctor's appointment these days.
Yeah.
You can call them.
Call them. There's Teledoc. You don't even have to leave your house, and it's covered by insurance.
Yeah. It is. I did Teledoc after I got into a car accident, and it was easy. I got it. I got it the next day. I spoke with an older gentleman. He's been doing his doctoring practice for many years, and everything was like really legit. Yeah. The only thing is, of course, he can't like physically touch you and monitor, you know, how your body reacts to certain things. But that's other than that, it was pretty useful. Yeah. I got some good meds off of that.
There's Teledoc.
Wink.
There's a nursing line that you can call if you have your insurance card. There's usually like a nursing line on the back of it that you can call. Don't go to the news, for the love of God. Don't go to your group of friends that think it's evil. Okay, because I had a conversation with somebody about that the other day. Oh, my family thinks it's evil.
I don't know how it could be evil, but okay. Yeah, the conspiracy theories are out there. At least if you're gonna go to the news, don't read the comments, because you're gonna jump into a rabbit hole of all kinds of bullshit.
No, you don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that.
Okay, just don't.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So you're getting the vaccine. Now, when do I get to have the vaccine? When does good old Joe C get to get pricked by the goodness of Moderna?
Like we discussed in the previous pod, phase 2 won't even begin to roll out until the second quarter of next year, which is probably April. So realistically, don't expect it until then. Yep.
We can't expect for life to go back to normal or start going back to normal until at least summer then?
I would say you'd see a shift beginning in summer, and then maybe by the end of next year we can start probably easing like the masks, because it's still going to take a long time to distribute all of the vaccine, and there's still going to be people that either can't get it or won't get it.
Yeah.
So
who is the small population who can't get it?
So like right now there's no studies done on children that can, so they're not getting it. So the vaccine right now is only graded for 16 years and older.
Okay.
Those that have had a previous reaction to a different vaccine, right? They usually can't get vaccines. Those that are already like immunocompromised and like a vaccine would pose more of a risk to their health.
But based on some data, kids bounce back pretty quickly.
Kids bounce.
If they were to get it.
Yeah, but the vaccine itself was not studied on kids, so we can't say for sure.
But at least that's, that's just a decision that they have to make for the moment, which is, I guess, it's going to have to be.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been tested.
It hasn't been tested.
Yeah.
So kids right now, they're it's unapproved for children under 16.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Jesus Christ. Are you falling asleep?
No. Those who can't get it. I think those would be the high risk populations. Those are that are severely immunosuppressed and those that get high adverse reactions or have had high adverse reactions to previous vaccines.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm sure we'll learn more about your experience, probably on Pigzradio as you're falling asleep.
Probably.
So stay tuned, everybody. If Steph will still, well, I'm sure you'll be fine. I was going to say if you're still alive. I don't think it's going to kill you. Imagine.
If it does, it'll be quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's move forward with some exciting stuff happening over at the Geeking News.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go!
Did you watch it? Did you see? Did you see the green saber?
The green?
Freaking spoilers. If you haven't seen it by now, by the time this is out, what the fuck?
You're fucking
All right, but there is going to be some spoilers on the Mandalorian season finale for season 2. Very well done. My fucking God.
It just kept getting better and better.
Yeah, dude. Fuck. I was just the entire episode, especially the last 10 minutes, I was
In my pants.
just the whole freaking time.
I could not stop screaming at the TV.
It's like, ah!
Did you say that?
So the spoiler here, everybody, you've had a chance. You've had a chance to press pause on the podcast, go watch the episode and come back. But freaking Luke Skywalker makes an awesome appearance on there.
That's right.
They Bobby De Niro'd him, is what I like to call him.
They Benjamin buttoned him.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess they did do that in that movie. But they made him look, they took Mark Hamill and they made him look like he did back in episodes 4 through 6.
That's right.
And they did a fine job. The introduction, they didn't have to do a whole lot of CGI considering his hood was on for the most part while he was just taking care of business with all the Iron Men. What was it?
The Cylons?
The Cylons. It's like the old school Cylons and the Iron Men from the Marvel Tony Stark fucking thing universe. Fucked. They got these, what are they called? The Dark
Troopers?
Dark Troopers. That's exactly what they look like.
They're hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, even Mando had a hard time with one of them. But yeah, Luke Skywalker just shows up on the X-Wing and just takes care of business like nothing. And I got to say, it's the most satisfactory Luke Skywalker we've ever seen. The most badass Luke that we have ever seen.
Right.
Even I'm talking about like ever. Like even the sequels don't make Luke Skywalker. They make Luke look like a bitch in the sequels.
I told you.
Because they just kill him like he dies.
Like
He Yoda's himself.
Well, not only that, but it's just like the entire time he's just like a retired old Jedi just drinking blue milk. Be like, nah, I don't want to train you. Get out of here.
I told you I didn't do that anymore.
Yeah, because he's so like.
But Luke, they have your sister.
Essentially.
And then he has to go take care of business. But it wasn't like this. Or like a young Luke where he's wielding the lightsaber and using the Force. It was the same feeling I got when I saw Darth Vader enter in that one of the last scenes in Rogue One.
Oh,
remember how badass that was? And you're like, fuck yeah. But, it's Luke Skywalker. Could have been anybody. But the fact that they used, young Luke's face on there, you can tell it was CGI. There wasn't a whole lot of emotion coming out of it. But.
I think that I like this Luke Skywalker the best because he was this is like post-Empire. So like this is his first essential solo mission that we know of.
Yeah, that's true.
There's probably a whole bunch of other ones, but he was just like hyper-focused, like, all right, I gotta get
this is him
back.
outside of the Millennium Falcon without Han and Chewie by his side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has R2 though.
That's right.
He has his R2
R2's
droid.
his guy. Who's my guy? Beep, boop, boop.
Yeah, it was badass.
You know what? It would have been better, and I
oh.
said this after the episode.
Oh shit!
If Sebastian Stan
Oh, for fuck's sake!
would have played young Luke, it's the same person. They are the same person.
He does look like Mark Hamill, like a
Oh
young
my
Mark
God.
Hamill, like a lot.
I was just like,
He has a
yes, yes,
slightly
yes.
he has a slightly larger or wider jawline, but
Mhm.
he looks pretty much like him.
It would have been fine with me.
Yeah, I guess I could have been cool with that, but he's busy being Winter Soldier and such.
Yeah.
So-
but it's the same.
But this is a
studio.
good. This is good. This is good. That
Mhm.
means this opens up the possibilities now of the stuff that we're going to see on the next Mandalorian season. And I got a list of questions that pretty much everybody's asking right now.
Mhm.
But one of the things is that are we then going to see a Harrison Ford, take the same treatment where they make him look like a young Han again? I mean, he's still out there, obviously.
Mhm.
He's hooking up with Leia at this point. They're having kids. We might see a young Kylo. Imagine Luke's training Kylo and shit.
I don't think they would if Harrison Ford or Han's character does get cast. It should be I don't know what his real name is, but we've already seen a Solo movie. So the
that
actor that
guy?
plays him,
Yeah.
that he would work. If they wanted to
But that's like
have
super
continuity.
young Luke. Han. That's super young Han.
just age him up a little bit.
Nah.
Make him.
Nah.
So you would rather have them CGI
Yeah.
Harrison Ford
Yes.
and just watch CGI faces.
I already did it when I watched Clone Wars. I was fine with it.
Okay, that's like animated CGI, like
that's like
kid cartoon
that's
stuff.
all the way through. I could deal with a little bit at a time, little doses like that. I'd be fine with. Just saying. And Chewie will be there for the comic relief.
Of course. Good old Chewie.
Good old Chewie. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, like I just said, 5 burning questions about the Mandalorian season 3. I found this on Polygon.com and it made a whole lot of sense. The first one being, is Baby Yoda or Grogu still going to be a part of the show? So what do you think, Steph? I mean, he gave him away. He gave him to Luke.
I think that we'll see him like later on, but I think now
A teen Grogu, an adolescent Grogu.
he's just slightly taller.
Stop telling me what to do, Dad.
He just waves him off, uses the Force.
Yeah.
I don't think that Grogu is necessary at this point because they really set up something for the battle between Bo-Katan and
Yeah.
Din, whatever his
Din.
name is.
Yep.
I don't want to mispronounce it for all you nerds out there.
Din Djarin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a GIF versus GIF type of thing?
I don't think so. We're getting to that. The second one on here is, will Din join his fellow Mandalorians and take back Mandalore? So since he doesn't have his adorable green puppet anymore with him, he of course is still a Mandalorian, and he's still, the name of the show is still called Mandalorian. So it's, of course, it's going to focus on him and his dealings. But Bo-Katan could lead the charge on whether or not they want to take back Mandalore. It's a place, that they used to inhabit until it was taken by the Empire. But let's see here. Yeah, stuff that we can keep talking about later. One of the things is Mando keeping the Darksaber is the next one.
Well, he doesn't want it. He didn't want it because he didn't want to fight Bo-Katan.
He didn't want the confrontation. If anything, part of his deal with her was to help her take back Mandalore.
Right.
Yeah. And, he can't do that if they're now going to get into a fight to the death about it. So, I don't know.
I kind of had a feeling that when he had the dark saber in his hand, I already thought, oh, okay, that's his now. Yeah. Even though it was like Bo-Katan's, like I had a feeling like, oh, okay, he's going to keep this. And she would probably use him as her like ultimate weapon.
Mm-hmm. But she wants it.
Yeah, because she wants to rule Mandalore.
Right.
But maybe like she'll use him as like a pawn to just get like all the way as high as he can.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only person left to beat is her. And then they're going to have this epic battle and he's going to slay her at the end. And then bam.
And now he
rules Mandalore.
That'd be crazy. And we got to remember that throughout the course of the last 2 seasons of Mandalorian, we have learned that there have been different factions of the Mandalore Creed, where he's the one who's never supposed to take off his helmet, even though he does it at the end, which is very satisfying. The fact that they gave him that the opportunity to be on camera for the one of the last scenes of the show for this season was awesome, and it really tugged at your heartstrings when he did it with Grogu right there, because Grogu at this point has never seen his face.
Right.
You know, and every time that, the Mandalorian wants to eat something, he'll go under the helmet, and eat it like that. And then you can see Grogu trying to like look up at him to see what he might look like. But it's crazy how, that actually made me realize how important that scene was, because he had never seen his face.
Right.
So.
And then in the previous episode, Bill Burr's character asked him, "What is it? Can you not take off your helmet, or you can't show your face?"
Because there's a difference.
Yeah. And so I think he started to question that.
Because he already took his helmet off to change into the Stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah.
To go, undercover. And that's what prompted that discussion. He's like, so can you not take off your helmet, or can you not show your face?
And he didn't answer because I just don't think he knew the answer to that question.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like he spends, his time reading Mandalorian scrolls. He just knows the basics of his sect of Mandalore, and then that's that.
Right.
But yeah. So the next one is scary CGI Luke just gonna show up in random series from now on?
Yeah.
He better. If anything, he better.
He's a Jedi.
Yeah. I would love little nuggets here and there of Luke, Han, Leia, and and the rest throughout other series. This is happening on Disney Plus. It's going to be, I'm excited, because this is an entire universe that's going to focus on specific interesting characters. For example, the third season, one of the questions a lot of people have is, okay, so is it going to focus on Din, or is it now going to shift over to Boba Fett? Because it said if you stay throughout the credits, it said that, what was it, Book of Boba or Book of Fett?
The Book of Fett.
The Book of...
Or the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, the Book of Boba Fett, yeah. It's coming out in December 2021.
By the way, I love that scene where he just, like, slices and dices. Oh, no. Does he shoot him?
He shoots people.
He shoots him.
Yeah. And
then he just takes
Mulan
over
goes in there, too.
Right? And then he just takes over the throne,
right.
And all of a sudden, mob boss.
He's a mob boss.
Mob boss.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. There's going to be some gangster stuff happening.
I hope so. I hope it turns into, like, this cool Godfather or Al Capone kind of thing.
Frees all the sex slaves.
Yep.
But the gambling's going to be pretty high, though.
Oh, yeah. I hope so.
Brings back pod racing.
Dang.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Jabba, right, is the guy who was in that room before the other guy. So there's just mob bosses who work there. So now Mandalorian. So all right. So here's another question I have. Speaking about that, he explained that he comes from Jango Fett, which was a Mandalorian.
Right.
People are now questioning, well, Boba Fett is just a clone of him. So he's not a real Mandalorian, but I would argue that he is, because he's a clone of a Mandalorian.
Well, Boba never said he was a Mandalorian.
Well, I mean, he doesn't follow the creed, but he wears the armor and, does everything else.
Because he belonged to his father.
Yeah.
So that's his homage to him.
But he lives the lifestyle that they would anyway. They're all bounty hunters.
Bounty hunting.
Yeah, that's how they make a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So he's a Mandalorian in my book. I don't have a book, but
I think he's following his own path with just the added bonus of having Mandalorian armor.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when they try to go take back Mandalore, he probably won't care. He'll probably be a pawn or a piece of a very important puzzle that is taking back Mandalore. And he's probably going to use his mob boss skills now.
Because it was clear that he was not interested in Mandalore at all.
Mm-hmm.
So he could not.
He understands where he comes from, but yeah, he doesn't care about it too much. He's a clone. And also, it's funny that they bring this up, that in this last episode, they brought up the fact that he is a clone of Jango Fett, which is every other stormtrooper that's out there. They're all clones. And who was it? Bo-Katan's like, I've heard your voice many times before.
Yeah, during the Clone War.
Yeah, you're nobody. You're just another one of them.
I love how they brought Clone Wars into it.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, they were all a part of that shit. Dude, it's coming together, and Favreau is a freaking genius. and I'm gonna have a poster of him on the wall. Just not even like present day. It'll be Swingers Favreau.
Oh, Swingers
young
Favreau.
thin Favreau with the rest of with the world ahead of him. You know.
With his bowler shirt.
Yeah. Well, you were speaking about good old Billy Redface.
That's right.
And who was on the previous chapter of The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 15, where Bill Burr is a big part of it and a lot of the comic relief. But what a lot of people don't know, if you don't listen to his podcast, you don't know of this about Bill Burr. He absolutely hates Star Wars.
Hates it.
He can't stand it. And reportedly, when they interviewed Jon Favreau about this is the exact reason why Jon Favreau chose for Bill Burr to be a part of this, because he didn't want just some guy who's going to be like all, freaking twinkle toes all over, all over the set, just being starstruck by everything. He's like, yeah, I'm here. Let's do this. But anyway, the internet wins again. Because somebody made this video of, do you remember in that episode in chapter 15 where they're on top of the hill and they're scouting out that delivery truck that's supposed to infiltrate the base so that they can, get more information. They dubbed Bill Burr's podcast where he shits on Star Wars for about a couple minutes. And I
can tell you guys how much I fucking hate Star Wars. I hate Star Wars so much that I only like Empire Strikes Back because he almost kills Han Solo. And he chops his hand off, right? No, wait. That was Luke Skywalker, right? All the nerds just freaked out. How could you confuse him? Yeah, I just wasn't into it.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
I didn't like that whole... I just didn't like it.
We don't have time for this. Fennec will go.
No, I'm wanted
And
by
I also
the
thought
ice.
Chewbacca was fucking useless. I mean, Chewbacca was basically Bigfoot. They just gave it a different name. Typical Hollywood movie. That Chewbacca, fought the $6 billion man, 6 years earlier on television. You saw him with his bionic eye, right? And they fought each other. And then a few years later, he's in space. No, wait. The Bigfoot was Andre the Giant. Yeah, and all they did was fill in his face. And then you had Chewbacca. I just didn't fucking get it. I don't understand Chewbacca bringing orangutan or something. I didn't get it. I didn't like Chewbacca. I didn't like how he sat upright. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I love how at the end, Mando mutes him.
Yeah, and just puts his music on.
It's like, that's what he's listening to?
Yeah. Well, another thing that has been a big part of this week's news, Steph, has been Tom Cruise talking. Speaking of the freaking COVID-19, did you hear his whole rant? We posted it.
I did.
Here it is.
You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us.
It goes on, and we posted this on our Instagram. We'll play a little bit
I'm
here.
on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you I don't ever want to see it again. Ever.
So apparently what this was, and like I said, I wasn't going to play the whole thing because it's like 2.5 minutes.
So-
But if you want
yeah.
to watch it, we posted it up on our Instagram. And so he goes off on a couple of his crew members because they were just standing too close to each other, which I get. And, I think when everybody heard this for the first time, they're like, yeah, man, we need this kind of guy at every grocery store in the United States right now. Because you get people, with their nose hanging out, or they have the chin diaper, or they remove their mask to talk to other people, which defeats the purpose.
Right?
Because everybody's tired of just people
So
just
dumb.
being dumb about this kind of thing and just having the discipline to keep your fucking mask on and have it on properly. But at the same time, if we're thinking about a workplace, you probably don't want a guy yelling at everybody and putting you on blast like that either. So, if anything, I can respect where he's coming from, but you shouldn't have called them motherfuckers,
Right. And then also, just for him to explode like that, it's just, I feel like it was like a power trip.
Well, that's what
Sort
Leah
of.
Remini is criticizing him on. He's like, yeah, that's his Scientology guy
Yeah.
coming out just because they're known to abuse or verbally abuse their members,
Right.
or go on power trips like this. So that's her take on this whole thing.
You know what's funny is that there's pictures of Tom Cruise with that mask.
That's
with
another thing.
With the filters, and a lot of people are saying that if he's so COVID protocol friendly, he should be wearing a different mask, because that mask that he's wearing is not recommended by the CDC because of the filters. They leave too open a space for air transfer.
And those and you've seen these people who can't, you can look them up, but these filters are really just for like if you're doing exercise and you did exhale.
Yeah.
Right away, and most of that vapor would go through that. But the reason the CDC doesn't approve of this is because you can release droplets from there, and you can get on other people.
Yeah.
So if you have it and you're wearing a mask, but you're still breathing out pretty hard, the droplets can escape and then hit other people from there.
Thank you for mansplaining exactly what I just said.
Right. You didn't say the droplet part though.
Well, no, I was getting to it before I was so rudely interrupted.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else you got?
Nothing.
Oh, God, all of a sudden. But yeah, fucking Tom Cruise, man. It's an interesting take, because like everybody is in agreement with, we're all tired of people not following the rules. Like, how long have we been doing this?
Yeah.
If you can't just know to not be standing next to other people, to be wearing your mask properly, at this point, wearing a mask is an upgrade. And getting people to agree in a group to everybody wear a mask is an accomplishment, barring the fact that Tom Cruise is wearing the wrong kind of mask. He's trying to set an example,
right?
I get where his anger's coming from, but a day or two later, like up to 5 crew members quit because they're like, "Fuck this! I don't want to work under this guy." Because I don't know, maybe it hasn't been the first time he's blown up, like that. He seemed to be pretty comfortable just yelling at him like that.
Yeah, and that imagine for something as far as 2 people being too close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what were the circumstances with that? We don't know why they were standing too close to each other,
Right.
do we?
I don't know.
No, they could have just been like passing by, and they got caught. Just he just looked over, and they were passing by each other.
Yeah.
You don't know, and then he just exploded.
Right.
And that seems like, okay, yeah, we were supposed to social distance, but for him to explode for something like that, imagine if something actually went wrong that was not in his favor, what would he do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, would he start physically abusing people? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know.
No, I don't know that you go that far, considering there's cameras on. That'd be the end of his career. And there is a lot of pressure,
But
when
it's still
looking
scary.
at it, it is. Yeah, but looking at it from a perspective of he's the producer of this movie, he's trying to set an example for an industry on how to make a movie in a pandemic. It's a lot of pressure. And when he not only has to rehearse and learn his lines and come to work and help the directors and the team do the thing and produce it, he then has to go to his trailer or whatever, wherever the hell he stays, and get on the phone with, like you said, insurance companies, other studios, and shit like that. He's got to be pretty stressed out, but he can't afford to be a douche like that.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about this.
Yeah, I think everybody is. I think everybody is.
I'm not saying it was like bad, but it wasn't good either.
Right. But it's the rant you've been wanting to give yourself when you go out in public, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I know better.
You relate to the rant. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
He just, like, I guess I don't know. There's no right way to do it, but he did it, and now here we are, talking about it. So, Leah Remini also, in her talking about this and saying, it's just a publicity stunt. He did it just like, how all heads turned to, what was it, that Terminator movie where Christian Bale started yelling at the guy, and everybody's like, oh yeah, they're making another Terminator movie.
Yeah.
That kind of made people aware that there was a movie happening.
Right? The real questions we should be asking are, what movie set was he on when he did this?
He was on Mission Impossible.
Was it a Mission Impossible? See, I didn't
That's
know
what
that.
they're saying.
I
That's
didn't know that.
That's no question. It's
No, I
Mission-
have
it's
no
the next
idea.
Mission Impossible 7, I believe we're up to 7 now.
Jesus, 7.
Yeah, so that's the one he's making.
Not another Jack Reacher movie?
No, no. Yeah. Anyway, well, yeah, that's all I got for geeking out today. It was not a whole lot. I was just really excited about Mandalorian, and we can talk about Cyberpunk, But we did. You know, that everybody's entitled to a refund before the 21st, especially if you have a Microsoft Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
That they're offering refunds on that as well, but you only have until the 21st to do it. So if you're listening to this on Monday the 21st, do it before the end of the day because you're stuck with the game, and it only really works with the new gen.
Yeah.
The next gen systems and a PC. So if you got to soup the PC, you're fine. But if you, I don't know, I wouldn't be so surprised if I was a guy with a PS4 or not a next gen console. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's glitches. This is made for the next shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But
that's why I don't do video games.
Look, if they're offering it for any of the older consoles, they should have scaled it down to fit those consoles, which they probably tried doing, but in the end, it didn't work.
Well, I mean, all right, I guess we're talking about it. But yeah, another thing I heard was that this is a big move for Sony to even do something like this on the first major game of the new platform, especially after just releasing a new platform. It's a little unprecedented, and you have to imagine that everybody who works at that studio that put that game together has got to be pissed.
Yeah.
They should have spent more time on the, like you said, dialing it back for the older gen.
I think the biggest issue is that the patches aren't coming in fast enough.
I think they're coming in January, no?
Yeah, so it's like, what are you supposed to do during that whole time? Just wait?
I guess. If you're willing to keep it, yeah. There's been some reports of people saying that they're seeing a little bit of glitching in the new gen, too. So I'm sure that the patches will prioritize on that first. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Well, good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck on that. It's supposed to be the next best thing, but not anymore. I don't know what other video games have people been talking about. I don't
know. I'm so out of the loop with video games right now.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to finish The Last of Us Part 2. And that came out months ago.
All right. Well, that's going to do it then. Well, let's move forward with the joint report.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
Well, a little science lesson for today's joint report, Steph. So I was reading through marijuanamoment.net, and I stumbled upon this particular article written by Kyle Yeager. Dumping CBD oil on strawberries extends their shelf life and stops mold growth, a new study finds. So this article came out on December 10th, and it explains that though CBD is marketed to help people with their wellness issues, you can also now add the benefits of CBD to fruit preservation.
Wow.
So kind of like back, we're talking like old Middle Ages. Prior to that, people use salt for preserving their food.
Pack everything in salt.
Pack everything in salt and bacteria won't get to it. Mm-hmm. Of course, now we have refrigerators who would do something similar to it without it being so salty before consuming it. But now they're finding that CBD oil, if you just douse like strawberries in this, it would preserve them for way longer, and they would look way better, stay fresh longer, on the shelf. So they'd have a better shelf life if you just douse them. Now, one thing is so now I'm gonna be chilling the fuck out whenever I eat strawberries.
So are you just putting them on the outside of the strawberries?
Yeah.
Or do you have to actually inject the strawberries?
No, they're not injected. They're dousing them, which means that you're just, I guess you're throwing them in a bucket of CBD oils.
And
really.
dousing them.
And dousing, yeah.
And dousing them.
Dousing.
Dousing.
What's your definition of dousing?
I just want to hear you say dousing.
Dousing. CBD oil inhibited yeast and mold growth on strawberries. Strawberries treated with CBD oil had a better overall quality compared to non-treated fruit, is what specifically this study said. And other unexpected cannabidiol, right?
Cannabidiol
benefits. Separate research published earlier this year highlighted the promise of CBD-infused mouthwash. So since it's kind of the same idea. Mm-hmm. It's going to preserve your mouth while you sleep or while you go out throughout your day. And the fact that, if it's in your mouth, your gums are going to soak it in. You're going to be chilled the fuck out at the same time. All the benefits all under one roof. I think it's a good idea.
I love hearing about small little studies like this. Well, this is actually a big thing with preservation. But I always wondered like how the researchers got to that point. It's like, what if we tried putting it on fruit and seeing what happens?
Yeah.
Like, how did they get there? That's what I want to know.
That's true.
Like,
who thought of this?
Yeah.
Some stoner.
Probably
was a
like,
part of the
were they
team.
high?
Probably.
Oh, I spilled some CBD on my fruit and I put it in my fridge.
By the way, you don't get high off CBD. Let's just put that out there right now.
you don't.
You've been actually enjoying yourself some CBD because of what, muscle pains?
Yeah. It's
And
just
you have headaches, and it helps.
just muscle pains. Just getting older.
Right.
Also, I've been getting kind of fat.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not true.
In July, the FDA also submitted a report to Congress on the state of CBD marketplace, and the document outlines studies that the agency has performed on the contents of quality of cannabis-derived products that it has tested over the past 6 years, and this was one of them that they presented. And goddamn, if this isn't an exciting kind of turn of events, because for the longest time, ever since CBD has been hitting the marketplace, and ever since hemp has been deemed an okay plant to be able to now plant and distribute in the United States. This is, we're seeing now with the more studies that are coming out with marijuana and hemp products, the benefits of not only, health-wise, but now in a commercial sense with the fruit preservation. So, I'm excited to see what else they're going to try to do with this. We just heard about the mouthwash. What other things would you imagine that they can come out with, like disinfectants, cleaners? Mold killers? I don't know.
Probably something along those lines, but
Yeah.
I would imagine that some of the more of the edibles. Well, I don't know, because if they're already CBD infused, it would act as its own preservative.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we can start seeing like different things, and then you see on the ingredients list preservative CBD.
Yeah. Who knows? And
Could be anything.
while I was on marijuanamoment.net, I was just kind of scrolling through, and I came across just a grouping of headlines that I can click on.
Clickbait?
Not necessarily, just other science and health articles and things like that. But while I was doing that, all these, I guess maybe in the future I can make a sidebar kind of segment in the joint report called the No Shit Report, because a lot of these titles are things that stoners have known for years, decades, but there was never a study on it to prove it. Otherwise, it was just a stoner saying, this doesn't happen, or this does happen when you smoke weed or are part of the culture. And I'm going to make a lot of these part of my no shit portion of the joint report. So the first one says, the Federal Health Agency hosts conferences on marijuana and cancer research. It's the first time that they're actually hosting like a cancer research, but we've known that marijuana has been effective in treating cancer, or at least having people become hungry, those who can't eat because they're going through cancer treatment to get hungry. So they're finally going to sit down and talk about it.
So there's already peer-reviewed studies on that. So it's not like
Not from the U.S., though.
I think there's a few.
Nah, Canada's the one coming up with a lot of this, and some coming out of Europe. Those are the ones that have been publishing. Number 2, CBD doesn't impair driving. We know that. A landmark study finds while THC effects fade in hours. Every fucking person knew that. Another thing that stoners have been saying for years is that teen marijuana treatment admissions fell sharply in states that legalized federal report. The federal report shows. We've already known that people won't necessarily just start smoking weed because something is legal. It's the same thing with cigarettes and other drugs, like harder drugs. Just because they're legal doesn't mean people are going to flock to that freaking drug. It takes a certain kind of personality to be like, yeah, I'll try it. And if I don't like it, I won't do it. And if I like it, I'll keep doing it.
You know what's funny is that you don't even need to read the rest of the article for this.
Yeah.
So it's like everything's there. In the headline.
CDC meets with medical marijuana patients to discuss cannabis as an alternative pain therapy. We've known that for the longest time. You know, I could either go to the doctor and say my back hurts and be prescribed opiates, or I can just go home and take some CBD or maybe just a couple dabs and chill for the rest of the day.
Right.
You know. So anyway, I might turn this into another segment or sub-segment of Joint Report. I wasn't as organized about it this time around, but you know, it's a Steph episode, so.
Not another Steph episode.
But anyway, that's all I got. You wanted to broaden on any of those topics there, Steph?
I feel like those are like, I feel like you were reading a bullet point list on exactly how you wanted to title it. Like, no shit. Like, we already knew this. We already knew this. Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's going to do it for that.
Smoke weed every day.
And since we have no Foos, we have no sports, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. So we're just going to skip right over to music. Well, Steph, you came up to me earlier today and you said, let's play some Christmas music. And I said no.
No, you didn't. You just didn't respond and looked away.
But we came to a nice compromise. And, you know, for the longest time, at least during Christmas time, we always like to enjoy ourselves some Bad Religion Christmas songs. And, that's exactly what Bad Religion did. They made an album called Christmas Songs. And out of all the bands, you wouldn't think Bad Religion would do it. But, you know, I'm sure it was very tongue-in-cheek. And I got to say, it was very freaking well done. This being the first song off of that Christmas album by Bad Religion called Hark, the Herald Angels Sing.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With the angelic horns proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ the highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh, the Godhead see, hail the incarnate deity. Pleased is man with man to dwell, Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald.
Very well done, right?
Beautifully done.
the harmonies are like out of control good. Anyway. But the other one that you said you wanted to play Oi to the World by No Doubt, and then I said no.
Well, I like that version, but I also like the Vandals.
Well, I'm actually the person who introduced you to the Vandals version, right?
Yeah, but
Only a couple of hours ago.
I still like the Vandals, but I didn't realize that the Vandals had written this song prior to.
It's off of their album called Oi to the World.
No, had no idea.
Really? But I would say this
All right,
is
look, I like a handful of Vandal songs.
This is this is the original one, and you know, in the mid 2000s, this song became more popular, of course, when Gwen Stefani sung it with No Doubt. But I prefer the original one, and let's listen to it.
If God came down on Christmas Day, what would he think? What would he say? Would he notice all we've done? Or just about seldom one? I think I know what God would say if he came down on Christmas Day. He'd say to every boy and girl, where's the oil I gave to the world?
Just like any other boy, and he never had no troubles till he started up his Oi band. Safe in the garage, singing in the tub. But Hardy went too far and he plugged in at the pub. It was a cold Christmas Eve when Trevor and the Skins popped in for a pint and then lick a bag of crisps. Trevor liked the music, but not the unity. He unwound Hardy's turban and he knocked him to his knees. If God came down on Christmas Day, I know exactly
That's what that sound's supposed to sound like. Yeah.
Sounds great.
I like how it sounds like something you would sing at a pub with your chums, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Sounds great.
But anywho, everybody go check that one out and add it to your playlist. This last one. And normally, you know, I don't play a whole lot of Blink-182. I can appreciate what they used to do back in the day when Tom DeLonge was still, you know, not talking about aliens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, it's funny because he was kind of right about some of it. Like the government came out and said, yeah, you know, the UFOs that Tom DeLonge's been talking about.
Right.
Yeah, it's legit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Credible now.
Right. But anyway, quite a few, some time ago, Blink-182 made this Christmas song specifically for Kevin and Bean of K-Rock, Los Angeles. And every year back when Kevin and Bean was a thing on the radio, they had annual Christmas albums. And they would get, you know, bands like Blink-182, The Killers came out with a song, Jimmy Eat World covered a song. To have a song, a Christmas song on this particular album. And Blink-182 wrote this song for that specifically called I Won't Be Home for Christmas. And since then, I don't think any other band has topped, you know, making an original Christmas song. Like as far as like a rock band goes, I mean, we've seen, of course, you know, pop stars try to do it. And if anything, they're just recreating songs that already exist. But this is probably one of my favorite Christmas songs, and it's called I Won't Be Home for Christmas.
Christmas time again. It's time to be nice to the people you can't stand all year. I'm growing tired of all this Christmas cheer. You people scare me. Please stay away from my home. If you don't want to get beat down, just leave the presents and then leave me alone.
Catchy.
Very catchy. Man, his voice sounds so young there. I haven't heard this song in years.
Yeah, this came out in the early 2000s too, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah. It's been 20 years since then, or somewhere around 20 years. But I Won't Be Home for Christmas. It's a cool song. Another one to add to your Christmas playlist if you're into that kind of thing. Not me though.
What other bands have made original Christmas music songs?
I think, like I mentioned, I think the Killers made one for Kevin and Bean. Something about a sleigh. I don't remember. But
I don't remember too many Christmas songs that are originals by rock musicians.
Well, and there's that. People love this one, but that song by the Waitresses from the 80s.
I love that one.
Yeah, that one's annoying to me.
No,
I just there's no it's a low energy song. It's like the same attitude that Detachable Penis has for a Christmas song. I don't know, it doesn't do it for me.
But somehow Detachable Penis is okay for you?
Yeah, because it's tongue in cheek or dick in cheek.
The Waitress's song is about how she doesn't celebrate Christmas.
I get it. I understand where everything's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. Not for me.
It's because it's fronted by a chick, isn't it?
No, it's because it's from the 80s, and everything in the 80s is so cheesy. And
it was made. It came out in 1981. If it had come out in 1979, 2 years,
I'd probably still hate it. I'd probably still hate it.
No. I think you specifically have a thing.
It's not for me.
With 1980 to 1989.
Not really. You know me, and I play a lot of music from the 80s. Elvis Costello. There's that song that Elvis Costello did. No, like all AC/DC, some hair metal and metal from the 80s was very good. Yeah. And Elvis Costello. I really like Elvis Costello.
Oh my god.
Something that was good about that fucking decade.
Name one other
Clash.
band.
I love the Clash.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. See? Pretty much I don't like synth pop.
Who else
the
came
80s.
out of that decade?
That I like or just in general? Because I can name you all the crappy bands that came out of the 80s.
That you like.
That I like. Well, did I already say Elvis Costello? Joe Jackson, Graham Parker.
How about artists that were established prior to 1980 and have come out with good songs in the 80s?
Oh, that's good. Well, Aerosmith had a good run. Aerosmith had a good run. Believe it or not, the Chili Peppers came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
And they got better in the 90s. Thanks, 90s.
Green Day also came out.
Green Day, yep.
The 80s.
But like late 80s though, when the tables were turning. You know what I mean?
Still 80s.
I guess. No, I get it. I get it. It's the feeling. It's the what annoys me is that if you turn to an 80s station on, let's just say like XM radio, you're not going to hear all the shit that I'm saying that I think is good.
No.
You're going to hear all the quintessential 80s crap that your Flock of Seagulls, your Depeche Mode, everything that sounds robotic and plasticky is coming out of those speakers when you turn it to that station.
Those
and
are
that's
heavily
not
produced songs.
The gated reverb on the snare drum, it doesn't do it for me. And I can forgive other bands who did it, but
what about all the U2 songs?
Okay, that's a band I can deal with. I gotta say, The Edge is a little bit of a hack. He overdoes the delay pedal on the guitar. I respect the shit out of him, but I'm just saying it's not a whole lot of creativity. But at the same time, it's like nobody else is doing it, so okay, we'll give him the credit. I don't know. Who? I mean, obviously, I know you like Depeche Mode.
I love Depeche Mode. I've seen them like 3 times. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Who else do you like? That's about it. That's what I thought. See what I'm talking about? You just made my point.
God damn it.
Like I don't know. I can respect what they did for the industry because if it wasn't for that crappy synthopop music, we wouldn't have grunge.
Look.
You know what I mean?
You're telling me that you don't like Rock Lobster.
No, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Did that even come out in the? I don't
yes,
even know
of course.
what came out in the 80s.
Yeah, you know it. It's very dated.
I am not a very in tune music person.
Don't you wish everyone had some goddamn integrity?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But anyway, fucking episode 212, everybody. With it's a Steph episode, everyone.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So
you know what this is? This is a noob episode.
This is a what?
A noob episode.
A noob. Oh, noob.
Yeah.
From that one show.
That's what it is.
Rick and Morty. Yeah. See, I could have played the drop, but I wasn't ready for it. Say it again.
You know what this is?
I still don't have it.
Oh my god.
I don't have it up here.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. What is it?
You know what this is?
Yeah. What's that, Steph?
This is a noob episode. This is a noob episode.
Stop it.
God damn!
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
God damn!
That's right. Well, normally we'd be doing Foo Facts, with the Foo here. And normally, Josh would be probably interrupting us, but no, he couldn't be here.
I'm full bitch on this one. I'll admit it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, it would have been nice to know, Josh. But we'll see him at Pigzradio. Now, everybody go to pigzradio.com or just download their podcast where we're taking over. That's what they're saying. I don't know. I don't have anything planned except for the spicy challenge that we're going to do with them. But I don't know. I'm going to be as surprised as anybody else. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be our Christmas special.
Christmas?
Laziest Christmas special of all time. And this is officially our Festivus special. So, I think we covered all bases.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right. We aired our grievances. Well, you did about the 80s.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, we just need to do the feats of strength and eat some meatloaf. But I think that would be considered abuse. So everybody go to ALF Live Events for if you're planning a live event and you're trying to be responsible about, making sure that everybody's doing it virtual. These guys can help you do it right. Go to alflei.com, check out their services. Talk to them. They'll probably quote you some pretty cool stuff, a pretty cool price. Tell them the Foobar Show sent you. And I believe next week we're scheduled for a Podzilla. So tune in for that. I believe Ollie's going to join us again for that one.
For the new year?
It'll next week will be the last episode of the year. Yep. Just don't think about it. I'm telling you the answer here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. So this has been a fucking Steph episode, everyone. Thank y'all very much for listening into the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a fucking champion. Hit us up and check out our new merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOOBarshow.com, and FOOBar Show is our handle on Facebook, Venmo, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out. Drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Juicy.
And I've been Steph.
Signing off, saying...